Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 302. It is Friday. Here in Cincinnati, it's beautiful outside. It's late afternoon as I record this, and the sun is just shining into the bedroom. It's warm. It's my sweet star is laying right by the window with all the sunlight on him. He's been moving from spot to spot all day today and just laying wherever the sun comes through the window and soaking it up. It's so sweet. So I'm sitting in my chair just blinded by the light. As my eyes are closed, I can just feel all the warmth of the sunlight coming in. And yeah, it's a really pretty Friday. So today I switched my schedule around a little bit and spent some time preparing some books to mail out and getting some thoughts organized. I leave for Boston tomorrow and I will be gone through next week, Thursday. So there will be no podcast next week. I'm taking a few days off. I am doing an 11/11 event with my friend Alicia Mathewson and my new friend Lorinda Raquel in the Cape Cod. So Monday will be a really beautiful, powerful day of creation and tuning into the joy of the awakening number of 11/11. These events Alicia and I've hosted for the last couple of years have been so powerful and so beautiful. And this will be the first time I'm visiting her hometown to co-host with her. So yay to a little bit of a change of scenery, stretching my comfort zones, meeting new people, creating in new places, and then having some downtime on Tuesday and Wednesday. I shouldn't call it downtime, some uptime, some chill time, some creative time, some playtime. It's going to be a really sweet few days. So my intention is to have a podcast again next week on Thursday, and also I'm not sure when I get back. It may be Friday before I host another episode. So you have lots of time to catch up if you've missed any, to re-listen to some of your favorites, to find another podcast that inspires you, and to share my podcasts if they inspire you. All of it's available. Oh, and also you could watch the intention grid video that I made the other day. It's on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for inspiration about how to really align with the highest possibilities of the next 2 months as we wrap up 2019, the intention grid that I set was very much about anchoring in what my priorities are for my time and how to have it all flow seamlessly together and be in this contained space of 8 weeks before we wrap up this decade, not just this year, but this decade, and open up to 2020. So if you're looking for some fun and some inspiration, that video it's just fun. It's fun. I love playing with crystals and stones and chatting and sharing. And so it was a really fun little, I want to say experiment, but it wasn't. Anchoring in of energy, a fun energy play for me. Okay, today. So today's title just came to me a little while ago, and there's several examples I'm going to share, but we'll see how it flows. The title is Delighting in the Receiving, and what prompted it was a video that the beautiful Amy sent to me after she watched my intention grid video. She made her own intention grid, which is what I invite you to do at the end of the video, but she did it. She created a beautiful intention grid and then sent me a video of it, and it was so much fun for me to receive. And when I was reflecting today in my meditation time, in my quiet time this morning, putting some thoughts together for the next few days and what's happening energetically, I just was sitting in the absolute fun of what happens as a guide or a teacher when someone just gets it. Like, they get it. They totally get it. And then they have their own interpretation of it or their own translation of it. And what they create from, your original idea is so cool and so different and something you wouldn't have thought of in the way that they see it. I love that. That is one of my favorite things. Besides creating, I love when others create based on an idea I share with them that sparks something new. And that's what I experienced yesterday. I saw the video as I was sitting in the audience waiting for Matilda to start last night. My husband's school was having their show, their major musical of the year. And so my daughter and my son and I were sitting in third or fourth row waiting for it to start, and I saw the message and watched the video, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was so fun. It was so much fun. So big shout out to Amy for taking it and running with it and making it her own. And then inspiring today's podcast, which is very much about my experience as a teacher or a guide when I receive the validation or the high five from someone who received some wisdom or guidance from me. It's the bomb chickadee bomb, as my friend Helen would say. It's the bomb chickadee bomb. It's so fun. Yeah. So another example of that would be Matilda. Last night, I was bragging on my husband yesterday in the episode about, creation and his ability to live the teachings and teach so powerfully. And what I experienced last night, and I experience this every time I go to his school for one of their performances, was such amazement and awe at what high school students, middle school and high school students can create and transmit as art to these audiences when we sit in the theaters and watch what they have built together, what they have designed together, the performances by the artists, the drama or music or theater, students, what the costume designers have created, the lighting designers, sound, like these students and their teachers are so good. They're so good. And for us in the audience to sit and delight in receiving what they are sharing with us, it's the best. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Even though I was not involved in the creation of it, just being able to receive the transmission of their creation feels incredible. And so I was feeling all of that last night with my children as we were sitting there watching this, overwhelming sensation sitting there with the set. My husband, wow. It was such a cool set. And all the students and what they contributed to it. So we were sitting there just receiving all of this creation. And what I was feeling today in my meditation is, it's easy when we are in the work of something, when we're building or writing or trying to bring an idea into the physical form. The creation process is fun, and we do it with the intent usually of sharing it, of someone else witnessing or experiencing what we create. So when we create art, we hopefully want other people to witness the art and receive something from it. When we create music or books or podcasts, we send it out with the intention that others will witness and have their own experience as they witness it. The invitation that I share in today's episode is for those who are creating to delight when someone receives the creation. To truly take a moment to sit and revel in the fact that someone got it. Like, it's such a gift. And I feel like many times we're so busy building, writing, creating, pushing some new content out into an already overpopulated, content heavy world that we just rush right into the next creation. We just push through and like, okay, what's next? Do the next thing, check the list off. I believe pausing to delight in what we just created and the fact that someone got it. Like, oh, can we allow ourselves the joy of that moment? You know, for all the students and the teachers at the school who busted their asses to get this show together and to share this show with all of us in the audience who are going to keep coming back for the next few days until the show closes on Sunday night. Can those students and teachers receive the delight that we have in this creation? It's a stretch sometimes for artists and creators to actually allow that joy to be felt when someone receives what you have created. It's a stretch. Because we love the creation process so much, we don't always allow the coming back through, the circle, the cycle of energy that brings the wave of creation back into us when someone receives it. A good example would be a couple of years ago, I met this beautiful artist, Guru Ganesh, and he was here with his band. And he just touched me with their music. Guru Ganesha band, their music is amazing. And so I asked him if I could do an interview with him a week or two after they were in town. And he was so gracious, and he said, absolutely. So we did this video interview. It's in my Healing Our Souls library of videos on YouTube if you want to tune into it. And here's this beautiful man who has spent his whole life creating, supporting others who are creating, broadcasting others who are incredible artists. Like just this man who is just in creation mode and so powerful. And he hosted in Cincinnati this benefit concert for his birthday, and that's where I was introduced to him. So in the interview I said, how gracious it is of you to send this beautiful gift out to all of us for your birthday, to give this love to all of us. And he did something I've never forgotten. He put his arms out and he said, well, of course, he said, I'm happy to open my arms up and share the energy. He said, but what I've learned to do is also to allow all that I send out to come back into me and to be received. Right? And he had his arms really wide, and he's like, what fun is it if all you're doing is giving out and you're not allowing it to come back in? Because the people who are receiving from you want to give it back and give it into you to receive also. He said, so as much fun as it is to give, I've also gotten really good at receiving, at allowing that energy to flow back into my life. It was one of the most powerful moments because I've been a giver for a lot of my life. Here, take, give. Like, I want you to have more than I have. And it's become a joy for me. I've allowed myself to delight in the receiving. When someone gets something from what I have created and they reflect it back to me, my heart delights in that. Where before, I tended to push it away and say, no, it's fine. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Now I'm like, yay! Yay! You got it. You love it. Oh, that's awesome. Right? And so I can bring that joy into my heart, and then my heart expands because I've received from whoever it is the validation, the joy, the love that was sent from me out to them and then brought back to me because I'm able to receive it. The cycle of energy flows and it becomes bigger. They're not receiving less because I'm receiving their their joy, their love, it expands. And so for all of us, really, can we allow ourselves to delight in the receiving of someone getting it, someone feeling it, someone expanding from it? Can we allow that joy? Of course we can. Of course we can. It's just a choice, a practice, a conscious opening, allowing for more to come into our heart space, into our awareness. So as I prepare to go back to the school tonight and watch another performance, I know some of the artists will be different, and I'm sure something will be different in the co-creation, because you have all these students and all these people in one show, one musical. Something's going to be just a little bit different. And so I get to sit in the audience and receive, how awesome their creation is, and then reflect back to them what I received watching it, which then allows them to have more joy. It just can multiply exponentially when we're present and conscious of how energy is moving. So this weekend, this next week, while I'm delighting in the receiving of being with Alicia and her family and her friends, and sharing what I know and allowing myself to receive what they know, and just all this magic happening, I invite you, can you delight in the receiving of the energy that you send out coming back and being received by you? How fun, right? What a fun assignment. And then share, go to my Facebook page and share something. Go to the Soulshine Tribe and share what you're experiencing. Send me a note. Like, let's in the physical also reflect to each other how much love and joy is expanding through these transmissions, through these creations that we all are creating, transmitting. I don't have the words, but you're getting it. You're getting it. So share it, validate it, talk about it. And then I will see you back here next week. I wish you an incredibly powerful and gentle and beautiful 11/11 transition. As the awakening continues here on this planet, may love just be the driving energy underneath all of that awakening. Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Thank you for tuning in to this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me on Sunday mornings for an hour of meditation, visualization, and energy healing, where we realign our mind, body, spirit with Gaia and Source. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.